Good day, children. Sai Ram, and welcome back to the second lesson of history, Europe and India. In the previous lecture, we have learned about American War of Independence, French Revolution, then Industrial Revolution, imperialism, then capitalism. These are the things which we have already learned. Now that the Britishers had come to India and set up the East India Company with the help of the Indian Emperor Shah Alam. The emperor had given permission for only one industry in India, but the Britishers were going on fortifying their industries in India. They were just going on putting up industries after industries in India. And one such province in India was Bengal. Bengal was the largest and the prosperous province in India, which the East India Company wanted to gain control over. They wanted to gain full control over Bengal so that they can lay their foundation in India. That time, in 1756 AD, Siraj ud Dawla was the Nawab of Bengal. And Siraj ud Dawla came to know about the illegal ways of the Britishers of expanding their territories or expanding their industries. That time, one British officer, Robert Clive, what he did? He bribed Mir Jafar. Now, who was Mir Jafar? Mir Jafar was the commander-in-chief of Siraj ud Dawla's army. Okay, so Robert Clive bribed him and also promised him that after Siraj ud Dawla, he will become the Nawab of Bengal. So here Mir Jafar got carried away by him and he promised the Britishers that he will not fight. As a result, the Nawab Siraj ud Dawla and the British troops met at the Plassey battle in the year 1757 AD. Okay, so the Battle of Plassey was fought in which year? 1757 AD. Between whom? Between Nawab Siraj ud Dawla and the Britishers. And naturally, as we know, the Britishers here were the winners and the Nawab lost the battle. Why did the Nawab lose the battle? Because the commander-in-chief Mir Jafar had given up. He had given up. He did not fight with the Britishers at all. He did not allow his army to go and fight with the Britishers. As a result, Siraj ud Dawla lost the battle. After Siraj ud Dawla, Mir Jafar was made the Nawab by the Britishers. But very soon, Mir Jafar also came to know that there is no use of him becoming the Nawab over here because he was just a puppet in the hands of the Britishers. So he started protesting again. He started going against the Britishers. So when the Britishers came to know about him, again he was removed from the Nawab and his son-in-law Mir Qasim became the Nawab. Now here Mir Qasim was the Nawab now. When Mir Qasim became the Nawab, he also tried to put restrictions on the illegal trade of the British. So he was also not less. He tried to put restrictions on the illegal trade of the Britishers. When the Britishers came to know, they decided again that Mir Jafar to be made the Nawab. Again Mir Qasim was removed from the Nawab and Mir Jafar was made the Nawab. So first Siraj ud Dawla was there, who was replaced by Mir Jafar. Then Mir Jafar was replaced by Mir Qasim, and again Mir Qasim was replaced by Mir Jafar. So all these Nawabs came, but what is the use? The full control was in the hands of the Britishers. Okay. Now, to restrict the British in Bengal. Now, these people, they came to know they were just the puppet in the hands of the British. So, Mir Qasim, who was the Nawab of Bengal, Shuja ud Dawla, the Nawab of Ayodhya, and the Mughal Emperor Shah Alam, they all came together, they formed an alliance and ran a campaign they decided that we are going to fight against the British. So 3 people on one side, that is Mir Qasim, Shuja-ud-Dawla and Mughal Emperor Shah Alam. They came together and they decided to fight against the British. So in the year 1764 AD, Battle of Buxar was fought in Buxar, wherein the Britishers were winners again. Naturally, although 3 people on one side and the Britishers on the other side, then also the Mir Qasim, Shuja-ud-Dawla, the Nawab of Ayodhya, these people were defeated and the Britishers were winners. The Britishers were winners and they got the right to collect revenue from Bengal province as per the Treaty of Allahabad. Okay, so they had gained control over Bengal now fully. And the foundation of the British rule in India was established. As I told you first only, that Bengal was the largest and the prosperous province in India. Now that was under the British. So at last the British had laid their foundation in India. Okay, so now slowly by slowly they started turning their attention towards the other state. Let's see how they turned their attention towards Mysore state. Mysore state was under the rule of Hyder Ali, or we can say Hyder Ali was the ruler of Mysore state, Mysore, Karnataka. Now, after Hyder Ali, Tipu Sultan became the ruler. Like his father, Tipu Sultan was also very brave and courageous. He did not allow the Britishers to enter into Mysore at all. As his father Hyder Ali was, same way Tipu Sultan was. There are many stories about Tipu Sultan, if you all have heard. They call it as the sword of Tipu Sultan. Why do they call it as sword of Tipu Sultan? Because the Britishers were very much afraid of the sword of Tipu Sultan. Was afraid of Tipu Sultan because of his courageousness and braveness. He fought against the British till the end of his life. Till the end of his life, that means till he died. He did not allow the Britishers to come into Mysore. Tipu Sultan at last died in the battlefield itself. That means fighting against the Britishers only. He died in the Battle of Srirangapatna in 1799. He lost his life on the battlefield. As soon as Tipu Sultan died, the British took over the Mysore territory. In this way, Mysore came under the control of the British. Now let's see how the British took control over Sindh. To strengthen British power in India. Now as you all know, slowly by slowly the Britishers were expanding their power. Now they had a fear that anyone else will come and attack over them. So they wanted to strengthen their power. To strengthen British power in India. Now the British had turned their attention towards the northwest frontier. Why towards the northwest frontier? Because they had a fear of the Russian attack through Afghanistan. The Russians can come through Afghanistan and attack over Britishers and take away whatever territories they were under the Britishers. So in fear of that, they turned their attention towards the northwest frontier. Now why towards the northwest frontier only? I told you, because there was a route. The route towards Afghanistan went through Sindh. Passing through Sindh. So realizing this attack from here, what happened? They captured it in the year 1843. So the Britishers captured Sindh in 1843. Let's see how there was a fall of Sikh power in India. In the 19th century, Punjab was under the power of Ranjit Singh. You all must have heard about Ranjit Singh, the ruler of Punjab. He was also very brave and courageous. All the Britishers feared to go into Punjab when Ranjit Singh was there. So, after the death of Ranjit Singh, his minor son, Dulip Singh, came to the throne. That means he became the king. But he was a minor. So, his mother, Queen Jindan, looked after the state affairs. She very well looked after the state affairs. She could do very well also, but she could not keep control over the officers. The officers were not ready to work under a female. So, she could not control over the officers. Taking advantage of this, what happened? The Britishers bribed the Sikh Sardar. They started bribing the Sikh Sardars. On fear of attack of Britishers, every now and then the Sikh community was afraid that the Britishers will attack them. So in fear of that, what happened? They launched an attack on British. Before the British will attack, we will only attack them. So the Sikh community launched an attack on the British. Now, this attack or this war was called as the Anglo-Sikh War, in which again the Sikhs were defeated. Still, Dulip Singh was on the throne. After being defeated also, Dulip Singh was on the throne. But the Britishers, although Dulip Singh was on the throne, there was no use. The impact of the British was growing, which the Punjab people did not like. Hence, Mulraj of Multan revolted against the English, in which thousands of soldiers lost their lives. So what did Mulraj of Multan do? He revolted against the Britishers and started a war against them, because of which thousands of soldiers lost their life. Then, this war of Mulraj of Multan and the Britishers is called as the Second Anglo-Sikh War, where again the Sikhs were defeated. At last, in the year 1849, the British finally captured the entire region of Punjab. Now, Punjab too was under the British control. Bengal was under the British control. Mysore was under the British control. Now here we have Punjab also under the British control. Now lastly, in the next lesson we are going to learn about the Marathas. How the Marathas were strong. The Maratha powers were strong in India. They were the strongest powers in India. So it was not an easy task for the Britishers to defeat the Marathas and strengthen their power in India. It was not at all an easy task for them. So let's see how the Anglo-Maratha War took place, that we'll learn in the next lesson. So children, I hope you all have understood the lesson very nicely. So answer some of my questions. The Industrial Revolution began in England. Very good. Dash tried to put restrictions on the illegal trade of British. Who tried to put restriction? Mir Qasim. So only Mir Jafar was put into his place. You all must be knowing that. Tipu Sultan died in the Battle of Dash in 1799. Which battle was that? Srirangapatna. Dash succeeded the throne after Ranjit Singh. Who succeeded the throne after Ranjit Singh? His son Dulip Singh. So children, I hope you all have understood the lesson. Thank you.